Welcome back, first graders. It's Miss Van Wert. Today's story is called The Maya Journey to Baakal. Our learning objectives are to explain the importance of farming to the ancient Maya, identify and explain important aspects of the religion of the ancient Maya, demonstrate an understanding of the word thrilled, identify and explain important aspects of the religion of the ancient Maya, and write a summary statement about the Maya and religion. Our key vocabulary, excuse me, are plain, temple, and thrilled. Plain, we're not talking about like an airplane here. Plain is a large, flat area of land, okay? The boy could see the shadows from the clouds moving across the grassy plain. Temple is also a noun. Temple is a building where people worship. Her family went to the temple on Saturdays to pray. Thrilled is an adjective, and thrilled means extremely excited. The children were thrilled to have a new puppy. The Maya. All right, let's review what we've learned so far. So yesterday we read a story about a Mayan boy named Kanal and his family, okay? From that story, we learned a few things. So how did the Maya get their food? Think about the story. How did they get their food? They harvested their crops and they went fishing, right? And what crop was very important to the Maya? Maize, which is also known as corn, okay? Who did the Maya depend on when they needed help? On their family, right? More specifically, their extended family, meaning their aunts and their uncles and their cousins and their grandparents, okay? So today we're going to hear more about the Mayan civilization, including their way of life and religion. Remember that religion is what helps people in a civilization understand things that happen in the world, okay? What do you remember about religion? What are some things you remember about religion? Okay, what is polytheism? It's when people believe in many gods and goddesses, right? So more than one. And monotheism, what's monotheism? When people only believe in one God, okay? And what were the three world religions that we just learned about? What were the three world religions we learned about? Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Very good. Okay, in the Mayan civilization, different people and city-states worshipped different gods. Today, you will hear about a god that Kanal and his family give thanks to. So let's talk a little bit about where the Maya lived. Okay, so remember the Maya lived on the continent of America, of North America. Okay, and North America includes Mexico, and then the United States and Canada, and then way over here would be Greenland, okay? And what part of North America did the Maya live in? They lived in Mexico, right? More specifically on the Yucatan Peninsula, which is this part right here. This is just this little box up in the corner. That's a zoomed out version, and this is the zoomed in version. So this is what you've got zoomed in, okay? What do you see right here? What is this? It's a river. Do you think that maybe the Mayans used their river the same way that the Mesopotamians or the Egyptians did? Let's see if we can figure that out. So in this story, Kanal and his family are going to travel to Baakal, which is now known as Palenque, okay? And Palenque is right here. Okay. All right, our key vocabulary: plain, temple, and thrilled. Listen carefully to find out where Kanal and his family will be going on their trip and why they go there. Luckily, although the winds of the hurricane were very noisy, the storm did not damage Kanal's home very much at all. A week after the hurricane, Toon announced to his family, "This was the largest crop of maize our field has ever given to us. The God of maize has been good to our people." Okay, so remember that The Maya also, just like the Mesopotamians and the Egyptians, believed in many gods that controlled different things in nature, okay? Your mother and I have decided that all of us should go to Baakal for the festival of the first star to thank him. So Baakal is a city that's far away, okay? Now that we have enough food, I want to offer thanks at the great temple for the good things the gods have done for us. And remember, a temple is a building that is used to honor a god or gods. So why were they, or who were they going to thank at the city of Baakal? The god of maize or the god of corn, right? Because they have a lot of corn. Well, you can imagine the excitement. Kanal's sister Equal could not stand still. She kept rushing back and forth between her father and her mother, hugging each of them. Their mother, Chenille, was the most delighted of all. She told them, "Wait until you see Baakal. There's no other place like it, they say, except for, of course, Pooh, the greatest city in the world. But I have seen Baakal, and I cannot imagine any place more wonderful." The children knew that their mother had seen Baakal twice before, once with her parents and once with Toon. Going there was a special occasion because Baakal was so far away. It did not take them long to prepare because their extended family members would make sure that they had everything would make sure that everything at home would be all right while they were away. Early the next morning they set out. Pick's brothers and sisters, who were too young to make such a long trip, stayed behind with their mother, but Pick and his father Zook joined Kanal's family, and they all entered canoes at the riverside. These canoes had been made by cutting down and hollowing out great trees from the forest. So how are they getting to Kanal? Or no, not to Baakal. How are they getting to Baakal? On canoes. Okay. The paddles noisily slid through the water. They were all used to traveling this way to other nearby villages. But this time, thought Kanal as they moved away from the shore, we are going all the way to Baakal. Okay. It took them 3 days to reach Baakal. When it takes 3 days to get someplace, is that a long time or a short time? That's a long time, right? At night, they stopped at other small villages, dragging their canoes ashore or onto the shore so they would not drift away. Overnight, the 6 of them stayed with their other extended family, who would also provide them with food for the night and the next day. So they're taking the canoes. So it's Kanal's mom and dad, Kanal's little sister, and then Kanal's uncle Zook, and Kanal's cousin Pick. Okay. All right. At about noon on the 3rd day, the river brought them out from among the trees onto an enormous flat plain. Here, plain means a large flat area of land. Plain can also be used to describe something that is simple or clear, or even something in the sky. Kanal, Pick, and Equal had never seen such a great space without forest covering it. The 2 fathers, knowing this, stopped paddling so the young people could just stare. Why do you think that the children had never seen a plain before? Think about where they live. They live in a rainforest, right? And in a rainforest, there are lots of trees and other plants that are growing very close together, so they don't really have many plains. Toon told them, "Many rivers flow into this plain and right through it. On the far side, some of them join into a mighty river that flows all the way to the great water." By this, he meant the ocean, which none of them had ever seen. They resumed their paddling, and a few hours later, Zook called out in excitement, "Look, Baakal!" He pointed off into the distance, and others strained to see what he saw. They could just make out the high, bright red towers and they were all thrilled, but to Toon, the best part of the moment was hearing the excitement in his brother's voice, for Zook rarely let himself get excited. Okay. more hours brought them to the very edge of the great city. As they came closer, more and more canoes and other boats crowded onto the river from other streams and tributaries, that is, smaller rivers that joined into the big one. By the time they reached Baakal, the water was covered with people in boats, and there were just as many people approaching on nearby roads. Why do you think there are people in boats everywhere? Because it's a big city, and remember, because they were going for the festival of the first star, which probably means that there would be a lot of people. Okay. Baakal was everything their parents had said it was. Pitt called back over his shoulder to Canal, "I can hardly wait to see it all." Chenille, Canal's mother, laughed. "We will be lucky to even see part of it. There is so much to see." Toon, grabbing the end of the canoe as he waded through the water toward the shore, said, "Tomorrow we will see the greatest towers for ourselves. Then you will truly know the wonder of Baakal." All right. Take a break if you need to, and then come right back. Okay. Why did Canal and his family travel to the Mayan city of Baakal? Why did they go? They were going to thank who? The corn maze, right? Because they had a good harvest. They had a lot. And they went to Baakal to go thank the god, and then also to attend the festival of the first star. How did Canal and his family travel to the Mayan city of Baakal? In canoes along the river. And how long did it take them to reach Baakal? A long time, right? 3 days. Where did they stay while they were traveling, like at nighttime? With relatives that were in villages along the way, right? And how did they find food along the way? Those relatives that they stayed with had food and shared food with them. All right. Was the extended family an important part of Mayan culture? So were like uncles and aunts and grandparents and cousins very important to the people, to the Mayan people? Yeah, okay. And how do we know that? Because they depend on each other when they need help, and they travel together, right? They do a lot of things together. Okay, so I want you to look at this picture, and I'm going to reread part of the text. Toon announced to his family, "This was the largest crop of maize our field has ever given to us. The god of maize has been good to our people. Your mother and I have decided that all of us should go to Baakal for the festival of the first star to thank him. Now that we have enough food, I want to offer thanks at the great temple for the good things the gods have done for us." So, what kind of things did we learn about the Maya through this passage? They have many gods. They gave thanks for things that went well. And they had temples and festivals, right? Okay, now it's time for our word work. In the read aloud, you heard, "They were all thrilled," but to Toon, the best part of the moment was hearing the excitement in his brother's voice, for Zook rarely let himself get excited. Say the word thrilled with me. Thrilled. Can you say it in a whisper voice? How about in a robot voice? Thrilled. And what if you say thrilled like you are thrilled? Thrilled! Okay. The teacher was thrilled to learn he had won an award. Okay. Remember, when someone is thrilled, that means they're very excited. I want you to describe a time when you were thrilled about something and try to use the word thrilled when you talk about it. What's the word we've been talking about? Thrilled. Very good. Okay, so I want you to look at this picture, okay? Remember, the Maya worshipped many gods, okay? And this image shows a Mayan temple. Temples, remember, are places where the Maya worship their gods and goddesses. In addition to going to temples, the Maya worshipped their gods in other ways. How did Canal and his family honor and thank the god of maize in the read aloud? By traveling to Baakal, right, during the festival of the first star. So where would this go under? Would this go under cities, leaders, farming, religion, writing. It'd go under religion, right? Because that's where they go to worship their gods. Okay, let's make sure we have hit all of our learning objectives, and then I will let you go to do the rest of your work. Explain the importance of farming to the ancient Maya. Yep, we did that. Identify and explain important aspects of the religion of the ancient Maya. We did that too. Demonstrate an understanding of the word thrilled. We did that. Identify and explain important aspects of the religion of the ancient Maya. We did that, and that's on there twice. And then write a summary statement about the Maya and religion. And you guys will do that here in a moment, okay? Awesome, awesome job, guys. See you next time.